And I will probably rely on that skill for my income when I go full time. I was in the programming industry for over 25 years. You're giving me X amount of dollars to do these certain tasks, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. If you're part of what's called the gig economy, that's also work. But usually, a gig economy is something that someone actually pursues, right? I think it's become more of a hobby for me than anything else. And here we go. Something to keep in mind with regards to my videos, I don't always post it when I make it. Just and well, hello there everybody. This is our maiden voyage when it comes to using this new mic that I have right now. I created a previous video using it. I think I posted it, and something to keep in mind when watching some of my videos, I don't necessarily post it on the day that I make them, just because I have to do edits and I do work full time, and I don't always have that time, or somehow I'm working a few hours overtime, which, as much as possible, I mean, if it's going to help out and it's going to be appreciated by the people I work with, and actually a lot of the times it is appreciated. One thing I don't talk about is my job. And one thing I would like you guys to know is I'm not going to specifically talk about my job either, just because I don't want to reveal too many details about my life, just because, you know, the internet. I've had a few trolls that kind of concerned me, and I don't always know what's behind the screen, and unfortunately that's just the nature of the internet right now, and I want to make sure that everything's all nice and safe, right? That's what we'd like to do. But for the most part, I think people are pretty good. So I'm just going to pull over here for a sec. Just going to adjust this. Okay, there we go. And here we go. And well, hello everybody. Early morning, I'm just going to be heading out to work. And I thought I'd start up a van chat with you guys this morning. Just sort of very random. I have another video I'm going to be posting, and I'm posting it about a week or so delayed, just because I had ran into some issues with my van, and I have some video about that too. So July and August has been incredibly busy for me, not just on a personal level, but also on a work level. And when it comes to work, where do I start with that one? Work is, and well, hello there, and good morning. And it's early morning. I'm just heading off to work right now. And I want to let you know that I do have a video I'm going to be posting this week. And this particular video, I didn't think I was going to be posting or doing anything about, but I thought I'd do it anyway. It's a van chat. It's a random video. It's going to have no edits. It's not going to have the nice little music at the end. You know, the one that I've been using like forever, for the past year at least. I had some thoughts about just July and August and how it had been such an incredibly busy month for me. July especially, and August is busy as well. On a work level, I've been working a lot more than I normally do. So I didn't get too much time to actually, I didn't get too much time to actually post out too many videos. But I do have a video that I'm going to be posting, and it's actually, I'm very excited about it, and you'll see it. I hope to post it maybe in a couple of days, maybe even tomorrow. And then I have another video I'll post as well. So it's something to keep in mind with regards to my videos. I don't always post it when I make it, just because I don't always have the time, because I work full time, right? YouTube is something that I'm doing to sort of explore, like to document, to share my thoughts on things, to share information, to get information as well. I've gotten some good advice, and also just to sort of, I think it's become more of a hobby for me than anything else. I just like the fact that, hey, this is my little van build. I'm sharing with you guys my van build, my thoughts, and how it's helping me in my little world, especially when it comes to it being a fortress of solitude. It's definitely much more cost effective for me, okay, than therapy. Even though I think, if you need that, if you need to go to therapy, but by all means, and it does get expensive, unless of course you have you work somewhere that it's covered, right? Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, just because this is a random video, so I guess I'm allowed to do that, right? I am allowed to do that. Okay, so something that came up in my mind, whirling in my mind, something whirling in my mind the past few days, few weeks. I've heard this expression before, and I don't know if you've heard it before, right? The expression is, it's related to work, and when it comes to work, most people have to go to work. They have a 9 to 5 job. If you're part of what's called the gig economy, and that's also work, but usually a gig economy is something that someone actually pursues, right? And there's also, what's the expression? Hustle culture. Ah, yes, hustle culture. So gig economy, hustle culture. So the common line of thought goes something like this. So you have your 9 to 5 job, and you see it on social media, TikTok, like everywhere, saying, you're never going to be quote unquote successful if you have a 9 to 5. You're never going to make enough money. You're making money for the top bosses, the business owners, CEOs making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, literally multiples of what a person would earn who works under them. You have CEOs worth billions of dollars, and so on and so forth. You get it, right? So the idea is, you work 9 to 5, and then you have a side gig, right? Side gig being anything from, let's say you have an Etsy store, or in my case, I guess this would be like a side gig. Yeah, even though, well, yeah, I guess anything that makes some kind of monetary value is a side gig. So fine. Okay, great. I have a side gig. The side hustle is, I guess, I would imagine it's a little more aggressive. Even the word itself, hustle, sounds aggressive. So you'd be making more money on top of your 9 to 5 job. And then at which point it's going to help you make some money, investments, and up until recently, everybody who was a buzz with crypto. I'm not going to lie, I got into crypto for a bit. I got out I got out. I got out just in time, and the reality is, it was good while it lasted, and it's bad right now. But I'm no expert, and this is not financial advice. Everything I'm telling you is not financial advice. It's just my thoughts on the matter. I think there'll be something's going to happen that will make it legit. Something's going to happen that will normalize it. Because once you see governments, once you see big players sort of paying attention to it and seeing the potential of it, they're going to dig their hands into it. Oh yeah, going back to what I was thinking, what I was talking about. So I heard the expression, and the expression is called quiet quitting. Well, you guys, some of you may have heard of it, and some of you may be rolling your eyes at this point. Quiet quiet quitting. Not quiet quilting, quiet quitting. Although I kind of like quiet quilting. It sounds very relaxing. Quiet quilting. Quilting, right? Okay, so quiet quitting. So what is quiet quitting? From what I understand, I watched a few videos about it. Quiet quitting is when you do the bare minimum of your job and nothing more. And it's not to be lazy, okay? Although I think people are confusing quiet quitting to being lazy at work. This is what I'm thinking, okay? Quiet quitting is doing what you get paid to do and nothing more. In other words, you're not extending yourself. You're not going beyond the call of duty, if we can call it that. Whoa, look at this. Lots of traffic this morning. So you're not going beyond call of duty. You know what I should have done? I should have taken a different route. Now I'm kind of stuck in traffic. But that's okay. More time with us, right? More time for us, rather. So you go to work, you do your 9 to 5, then you go home, and that's it. It's a concept where you're setting boundaries with your work so that your boss doesn't contact you, or you don't reply back to your boss when they need something. Because really, in Canada, it's actually against the law for your boss to contact you now. Recently, the last few months, that there has been legislation that says, laws that say, hey, if someone works for you, you can't contact them if anything work related, right? So I think people are still adjusting to it. Bosses can't get that because, bosses that I have to contact you outside of work, I think they have a problem. I think they have an issue in terms of how they organize their house, how they organize their business. And I'm not talking about the occasional, hey, XYZ, where is 1, 2, 3, right? I'm talking about where it's constant. In my case, I'm actually very lucky. I can count on one hand the number of times my boss has contacted me, and I absolutely do not mind. And so everything's good in that way. I think I've been very fortunate in terms of being able to work at a place where it's reasonable for me, right? I mean, compared to other places I worked, it's incredibly reasonable. So going back to quiet quitting, you do the bare minimum, and then you go on with the rest of your life. It's an interesting concept, and I thought to myself, quiet quitting, it just sounds like to me you're doing your job and nothing more, right? Except that, boy, I don't know when it actually cut out, guys. Sorry. I had some really good points, I think. Anyway, I was just talking about, commitments, and if you're committed to a particular time or an endeavor where you're committed to do something for somebody, then you should show up. In my case, I committed to my boss. I let them know that, hey, I will show up for work based on this schedule, and that's it. I will show up for work based on that schedule, and I will maintain it as best I could, unless it's an emergency, obviously, right? So going back to quiet quitting, what it is, I think, is just being incredibly lazy, and then not doing the work in a way that is at least helpful or contributing to the betterment of the workplace. I think that's just plain lazy. Quiet quitting isn't about being lazy. Quiet quitting is, hey, you're giving me X amount of dollars to do these certain tasks, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. That's what quiet quitting is, and nothing more. Being lazy is, hey, you're giving me X amount of dollars to do these particular tasks, but I'm not really going to do them as best as I could, and I might not even do some of them, and sort of just squander the day or dawdle the day doing other things and frustrate in the process. That's not what quiet quitting is. There are individuals I saw on YouTube that tried to sort of redefine it, and I think that's very disingenuous. Quiet quitting is literally, what's the expression? Tit for tat, okay? Sort of like, hey, you give me this, I will give you that. Now, of course, the setback is with quiet quitting, you probably will not move up the ladder. If that's what you want, if you want to move up the ladder, then you have to do much more. You can't quiet quit. So, in my case, when I used to work as a programmer full time, okay, you really couldn't do anything like that because your work, you have a deadline. You have to get stuff done. There are places that you could work at that you could maybe quiet quit and get away with it, just slide through. But the projects that I worked on, there was just no way. You had to get stuff done, because when there's a meeting and you're going through the work that you did and it's not done, it's just incredibly awkward for everybody. So you have to do the work. And I was in the programming industry for over 25 years. I still program, by the way. I still program. I work on stuff that I like. I work on stuff that are worthwhile. And essentially, for me, I guess that would be my side gig or side hustle, my programming gig. In addition to this, my YouTube, which has now become monetized, um, I get a bit of money, enough for like some coffee per month. I'm definitely not going to be in the same realm as like the Foresty Forests of the world or Vanlife, because they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I think last I checked, I think I had like 1,700 subscribers or so, or 1,800. Yeah, don't quote me on that. But the point is, if you have a side hustle, if you have a side gig, good for you. But you have to wonder, if you need that side hustle or side gig, maybe you might want to find another job that actually pays you more, because there's more to life than working, right? There's more to life than the dollar, right? Trading your time for money. I get it. I see a lot of notations about that on social media, that trading your time for money isn't smart. But it really depends, right? If you've ever run your own business, and I have, it's a lot of work, a lot of expenses, a lot of frustration, a lot of stress. You're constantly worrying about it. You're obsessing over it, right? And there's a point where, if it matches your goals, if it matches your lifestyle and what you're looking for, sometimes working full time at a job that isn't going to completely destroy you mentally, emotionally, physically, is a good thing. Now, the trade off is, you may not be making a ton of money. Any 9 to 5 job, you definitely, very few will make you a quote unquote a millionaire or extremely wealthy. And maybe that's not your maybe that's not your goal, and it works well for you. That's not Being a millionaire or incredibly wealthy isn't everyone's goal. What I'm saying is, having a bit of money but having experiences in life, I think, is much more important. And sometimes you figure this. Okay, I just realized I was talking and chatting, and I didn't even have the thing on. I'm just uh, is this it? Is this the end of my YouTubing? Well, no, it isn't. It just means that I need to be more aware of what I'm doing when it comes to turning stuff on. Like, when it comes to talking on this thing. That's okay. So what I will do, I'm going to get a large coffee. Okay, hold on here. Hold on. I actually have. Oh wow! I actually have a free coffee. I'm look. Free coffee. Yeah, I've got it all. That's fantastic. So, yeah, save a bit of money this way. It's always good. See how it goes. I don't know how long this video will be. Excuse me. Oh, one other thing is, at some point, I'm supposed to do a live stream. I haven't done a live stream in a while. I'm going to do a live stream soon, and maybe I'll do a live stream in this van, because I do have a tablet that I think the quality is pretty good, and I would need an internet connection. The last time I did a live stream, the connection wasn't that good, and what had happened was, it cut out a few times, and then, because I was using my data that month more than I normally do, I ended up incurring um, some charges, that I normally don't get. Although I do have unlimited, quote unquote, right? Because I'm not sure how it all went. Maybe it just went up. Wow, it's like really busy this morning. Really busy this morning. We'll see where this goes. Okay. Hopefully we're next. We're waiting at McDonald's here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think it wasn't even recording. Oh, again, I did it. It wasn't even recording, or maybe it wasn't, or maybe I'm not understanding how this thing works. But anyway, I was talking about stuff. But I'm gonna make a completely new set of subjects right now. I'm not sure it was recording. So I'm going through drive-through, and I got myself one of these. I don't know if I showed it to you. Maybe I did, but maybe I didn't. Right? It doesn't really matter. So I'm attempting to bring back the original subject about work and quiet quitting and stuff and side hustles. Um, I think if you need to do a side hustle, you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Like, what are your goals? If it's going to be something that's going to fund your experiences, right, or make enrich your life, then fantastic. If you're thinking of starting your own business, think about it and think about all the things you have to do. You basically, if you're a one person shop, one man shop, one woman shop, one whatever shop, okay, you have to do everything. Uh, if you need a website, you have to create it. You have to do your own taxes unless you have enough money to hire somebody. If you have an office, oh my goodness, I can't even begin to tell you what how crazy that's going to be. You have to pay for it. I mean, there's so many things. So whatever you do, really, 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 really try to do something that you could sort of do remotely by yourself. Where and ideally you're not getting paid for time, but you're getting paid for expertise. Wow, there we go. That kind of worked. Okay, we're good. Let's go. Okay, so yeah, in terms of running your own business, um, try to reduce your expenses. And if you have a particular skill, then fantastic. Like for me, I'm lucky. I do have a skill of programming. I know how to programming. I know how to programming. I can't say it obviously, but I know how to program, and I will probably rely on that skill for my income when I go full time. Let me just turn this off. When I go full time and full time traveling, and I'm thinking about it. But right now, based on the circumstances of my life at this point, I am working a 9 to 5 job. I am maintaining a level of consistency and so on and so forth. We all have our reasons, right? And I know some of my programming friends have asked, what are you doing working 9 to 5? What happened? Well, nothing happened per se. Well, actually, yeah, something did happen. And right now, this is the best solution in my little life that's good for my one, mental health, secondly, my physical health, and third, just overall in terms of my my day-to-day living, I think I need to take lessons in how to operate a phone camera. I was talking again, and this is getting ridiculous. I don't know if it's just shutting down every time. Maybe I'm running out of room. But anyway, I was talking about, what was I talking about? I was talking about the stress, and anytime speed is involved, if you want to go get somewhere really quickly, there's usually stress involved in that. And to reduce your stress, you have to slow down, just like the song. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the moment last, right? Guess who sang that?